Me, and we're live with
What's
Marcus
going on?
Allen. Oh boy, I am so glad you've been telling me about us. And first of all, let me go ahead and say this. Mark went to the movies with us. A lot of people from ABC 10 went to the movies together.
I had such a good time.
I could not believe that you came. We were like, Mark's not going to come. Mark's not going to come. He's too cool for school. Mark actually came. So we're really excited. We're talking about us. If you have not seen it, you probably don't watch this video because we're going to spoil it. Major
spoiler alerts about to come down the pipe. Tracy's watching over there. Michael says shout out to you.
Hey.
There's your peeps right there.
Look, it's not showing me anything. Hold on, let me touch this.
Hang on, give it a second.
Give it a second. Oh, my bad. All
right, so hey, be warned. Michael, share this. Tracy Rockefeller, share this. Mary, share this.
Yes.
We're about to get deep into it.
Oh,
first of all,
you have to see us if you haven't seen it.
Could you tell how joyful I was that I was seeing a movie with you guys?
Yes, I was so happy that you showed. He bought the popcorn too, y'all. I was like, the weight of my heart is through food.
Because so often I either sit in a movie theater by myself, and you have no idea how many times that happens.
Oh, wow.
Or I'm in a theater with like these hardened movie critics who just aren't quite as joyful about movies. And so to be able to go to a movie with you guys, with my friends, to really get the real of how you felt about the movie. And then I had to, as you know, my schedule was kind of nutty, so I had to butt out right before it ended. But I'd already seen it once. And I went back and saw it again Saturday night.
Did you? I did too. Okay, so we made this whole plan. I was scared. I'll be the one to admit. That's Michael. Michael Stevens, please listen to me. It wasn't nowhere near as scary as I thought it was. The plan was see it in the daytime with a lot of people so that you're not afraid.
That's right.
I went and saw it the next night at 10 o'clock at night with, Blind Date or whatever. So, but it's not that scary. It's one of those, it's like thrilling, right?
Was the blind date scary?
No.
Okay.
Hey, boo. Not scary. You can actually see it. I saw it at night. I haven't had any problems. I will have nightmares. No problems at all. It just makes you think.
There are some moments, like there's some classic horror movie. What I love about it, it starts out, it sets it up, and it's very high concept from the beginning. You start thinking, you try to figure it out from the very beginning, right?
Oh, you have to. You have to. I think from the opening scene when there's a little girl at the where were they at the boardwalk, and I love how almost local it was. So NorCal. That was the Santa Barbara Beach. I remember going to the boardwalk. If you've ever been to the Santa Cruz boardwalk, hey, it was in the movie.
Can I tell you a cool Easter egg that's in the very beginning of the movie? When I first moved up to Northern California, one of the first films I saw up here was this horror movie called Lost Boys. Lost Boys was shot at the Santa Cruz Beach boardwalk. Now, in this movie, in the very beginning, you hear the boys, the little girl's mom say, "Oh, look, they're filming a movie over there. Maybe we can be extras." Well, they're talking about Lost Boys because that's exactly when Lost Boys would have been filming.
I love that. When was that?
1986.
Okay. Oh, 1986. Another point of the movie.
Right.
Us. 1986 is a big year. I remember hearing about Hands Across America. Anybody else hear about Hands Across America? That plays a huge role in this movie.
Right.
I just did my research on it. I was born in 86, so I had to go back. Obviously, this thing was a colossal financial failure, but the goal was to help support homelessness across the country.
By giving money and by holding hands at one moment in time, every American from East Coast to West Coast holding hands. It raised like $34 million for homelessness, of which almost $20 million went to the organizers.
Wait a minute, hold on. I was hoping he would come. I saw you on your break. So this is Kris Hooks. He saw the movie with us. If you saw my post when we went to the movie, it's bright because, we need a lot of light in this dark room.
Hey, Kris, how come when I try to get you on TV, you go, yeah, I won't be on TV?
The difference between TV and phones?
Okay. All right.
I feel you.
So I was messing around, honestly, online by saying, somebody please explain the ending to me. I know the ending. I get it. But I was trying to be coy to try to get some people to comment.
Okay. Wait a minute. So does anybody have anything about the ending? Anybody have anything? Because y'all made it seem like it was so simple, and I left confused.
It was simple.
Are we doing spoilers?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're spoilers. You've been warned.
Let's go.
I mean, the ending was pretty straightforward. It wasn't the tethered version of Lupita that was living her life the entire time.
Oh, I was looking for the Hands Across America, and does everybody have a doppelganger, and are they all coming to take over? I went there. I knew that it was this shadow version of her, and I knew that we were rooting for her the whole time. I was just like, okay, so they're going across America. Are they finna come get everybody, or is everybody dead? Is it the end of the world? That was my question. What'd you think?
I wondered how long they were going to stand there in the water holding hands. From the moment the little girl disappears and then comes back and she's traumatized, I thought, like you, She's not traumatized. They switched. And so, but I thought, wait a minute, he wouldn't make it that obvious because it's too nail on the head.
No.
And I think Jordan Peele, and even in my interview with Jordan Peele, he said he likes to go online in advance almost to find out what people were talking about Get Out and how he could take some of those instincts and write it into his next movie.
No, I want to give a big shout out to Anthony White. We were at the meetup. He came to the meetup and he's one of our Facebook friends on ABC 10 and everywhere else. And he was like, he gave me this theory, and I'm not sure that he saw it Friday. Was it out Friday morning?
Yeah, Thursday night.
Thursday night. Okay. He was like, we all have a darker version of ourselves. And I was like, but in my mind, I saw that. I was like, ooh, I can see that. Because, when the regular people started killing the shadows,
right?
You see them get real guttural. I was like, you look like you acting like your shadow right now. I felt like the shadow came to the surface when they were killing.
Right.
That was even for Lupita's, is that Adelaide, I think was?
Yes, Adelaide and Red.
So when she kills one of the twins in the house and she's making the noises, when her son comes in and sees
like a shadow.
That's when he's like, oh, this is not who I thought she was.
Ooh,
And
so do you think the son
realized?
realized?
Right. He did. That's how that was his face at the end of the movie.
However, is it his face or is he the doppelganger? Because when he disappears at the beach early on in the movie, I have a question for you. Did he swap out with his tether?
It's difficult to say that only because his tether has a burn face.
Okay, so we explained the burn face. So because I've been taking such a deep dive into us, so I have like all the theories. So the child at the top of the surface, like the real child, Jason, right? He's working on this magic trick. Jason messes up the magic trick, right? And he's not getting it in the movie, but he's getting it down below as a shadow child, and he's only playing with matches because they don't have real toys.
Right.
And he's burning his face, and that's how he gets the burn. But if he was switched out, then this little real boy was burning his face the entire time as a shadow.
Well, then you also have to think too. Jason actually knows how to speak. Adelaide is the only one who knows how to speak of the versions that are on the.
But Jason's face was burned. So when you see it, he can't talk. He's like this. Wait, what?
Right.
What you got?
Well, I mean, Adelaide was supposed choked as a child, and that's why she can't speak. Although Red is Adelaide, Adelaide is Red.
She can still speak. Why she was the only one of the tethered who could speak in some sort of way. But had it also been the little boy who was switched, you would assume that he'd also be able to speak.
But he couldn't because his mouth was burned so bad.
I mean, your skin is burned, but that doesn't mean your tongue is burned.
I'm not a medical doctor, but I was like, yeah, no, he couldn't speak. Hey, everybody, does anybody have any questions? You said it was so scary. I had nightmares in the previews of the movie. I was so scared.
I have more questions. All right, so Get Out was definitely operating on several different layers. It was talking about the state of racism in America, and the many different layers of racism in America taking place at the same time. This movie is more about the different levels of class in America, right?
Right.
So when the movie first opens up, and again, plot spoilers coming up, and we go into the House of Mirrors circa 1986, there's a very racist Native American mural on that thing.
Yep.
That later is sloppily replaced with a wizard. And you can tell like they just like sloppily try to cover it up. Do we feel, am I diving too deep? Is this their way of saying, is that a metaphor for America's way of trying to sloppily cover up its dark past?
It's interesting you say that too, because when they're at the beach and what's her name in real life? I get
which character? Mom, dad?
The white mom.
White mom.
What is her name in real life?
Oh, no idea.
Right,
White mom?
Right.
Elizabeth something or another.
Yes.
Anyway, her character, when she's flipping through the magazine, she lands on a page that is a white woman in a Native American headdress. And she goes, "This is so cool. I love it so much."
Yeah, isn't it?
So it's like...
Isn't it beautiful?
He kind of does that on different levels.
Yeah.
And it's just so subtle that it's...
Yeah.
Right.
There are so many things that you have to really pay attention to this movie. My advice, see it more than once. Remember the Frisbee? The Frisbee laying on the
we were just talking about that.
Yeah, the Frisbee laying on it was the perfect foreshadow of like the shadows coming up. Like you uncover the shadow and there it is. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, what did y'all think about the spider?
Yeah, what did...
Well, the spider was just a reference to her whistling Itsy Bitsy Spider all the time.
Okay.
In the cabin.
Okay, so someone went even deeper. The Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain. She walked into the fun house when the rain came and watched the spider out. Out came the sun, and then the shadow comes out. I'm like, oh my God, I loved it. I am going so deep into all the YouTube videos and all the discussions on this.
What made him pick Beach Boys' Good Vibrations during one of the bloodiest scenes of the movie?
Ooh.
Just the stark contrast, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
The yin and yang of that.
I like that.
love that.
I love the soundtrack to this too. I remember when they were walking on the beach the first time when they were going as the family, the adult family. I love that song. I feel like I'm going to download that soundtrack because I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, some amazing music stitching this all together.
Yeah. All right, so what other questions you got? Anybody out there got any questions?
And by the way, someone just said they're going to see it tonight. I told you there were going to be spoilers.
Yes,
We just ruined the movie for you.
Oh, no. Maybe you should see it again.
I had questions for Chris. Mine were way more clinical. I'm wondering if they're eating all those rabbits, why is it so neat down there? I don't see any cleanup crews cleaning up. How are they processing those rabbits to eat them?
Who's paying the light bill on that place?
Who's paying the light bill? All right, so well, I beg to ask that question then.
I mean, it's still all technically a government experiment.
But it was abandoned, right?
Well, yeah, I think.
Your tax dollars at work.
Is the government system, is that the them that they refer to that created the tethers? Is that the government or a metaphor for the government?
Well, it's funny, too, because you look at it as this is, and he kind of touches on this in the script, too, in a way, in a more subtle way, I suppose.
Right.
About government experiments and being able to control certain aspects of people's lives.
Right.
This being that sort of experiment where the government creates these type of people to figure out a way how they can control people's lives. So you also have the very subtle reference when they're in the car where the daughter just says randomly,
yes,
did you guys know that the government puts fluoride in water to control your brains?
Which seems like the most non sequitur statement of all. However,
but it ties into the government experiment with everything that's going on with the tether.
Let's take it a step back. I was so impressed with the acting on these kids. It's like, that was incredible. The little boy with the mask.
Oh, no kidding.
Why was he crawling around? I heard some theories about it, but I still don't understand why he was crawling around like that. It was freaky, and I've been crawling around like that all weekend, and every time I get the chance, I cock my head to the side and I just walk around because it was so freaky. But these kids were incredible actors.
My favorite creep out moment is the kid climbing the tree. And you only see it for like 5 frames.
Yes.
But it's enough.
Yes, I love it.
I didn't think about it as much about why he's crawling around. Maybe I think just because the tethered are supposed to be like this very, very primitive thing, so it's a primitive and animalistic instinct to walk on 4
as a child. I guess
a
I'm still here for. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think about the concept that the little boy was switched out and he was in fact his own shadow? What do you think about that?
That the boy was his own shadow? Because you do realize he's controlling the tether. Like, for the first time ever in the burning scene, you see him manipulating the tether.
Yeah. And someone said that when they got on the surface, it didn't matter who was in control. Like, it could go back and forth. Like, it didn't have to be just the human person controlling the tether.
Right.
They could switch back and forth. I was here for it. I love the theory. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. I love the theory.
When we're top side, bottom side, who's controlling who? Is the tether controlling the top side?
The top is controlling the bottom.
That's what you think.
So that's one weird thing, too, for me.
We're still talking about the movie, right?
Because...
Hey, people from church!
That was one weird thing to me, too, because of the dancing scene.
Yes, let's
right.
If Adelaide is technically the tethered at the bottom...
Right.
Which means she wouldn't be tethered. How is Red controlling her on the other side? So if they're both dancing at the same time, in that exact same moment, how is Red being on top controlling Adelaide, who is beneath with
as an adult or in the fight scene?
No, as both. So Red is the one who is in the real world. Yeah. So how is she actually controlling Adelaide from the bottom if Adelaide isn't the actual one who's tethered?
So if the real Adelaide is the gifted dancer and she's down below,
yes,
and she's controlling Red, who's up top. But Red, as you notice, like the tethers are a really bad photocopy of what's really taking place. So that means her dance skills up top wouldn't appear that great.
That's what I'm saying. I thought she learned how to dance after she was switched. Because remember, the therapist told her, give her creative outlets, teach her to dance. So I think that it was actually the tether who learned how to dance and became the skilled dancer. And Adelaide was like, I got nothing for you.
But my thing is, if Red is the one who is, again, supposed to be tethered, how is it that she's controlling what Adelaide does below?
That goes back to my theory. It doesn't matter. You can go back and forth. It just depends on who's in control at the time.
Right.
That was some theory, because Adelaide is down below. Red is up top. Red was controlling Adelaide. When she had kids, she had kids. So it depends on who's in control at that point. That is the only way that we can give that theory to Jason and Pluto. Who was controlling who? They switched. One was controlling the other, and that's how we got rid of Pluto or Jason, because it was really Jason.
So can the tethers communicate with each other independently? Because you notice that one scene where
they yell at each other.
Right.
Yep. Do it again. How'd it go? What did it say? Let me see. Brittany, I feel like I needed to send in a to the main character. I love it, right? Because you were all rooting for the wrong one.
All right.
And when you realize you're rooting for the wrong character, you're like, oh, shoot.
I think for me, it's weird because I thought that Red was actually Adelaide. Like in the beginning, I thought the switch was there.
Y'all are smart.
Yeah, well, the moment she changes and she's traumatized. I thought,
oh, wow.
But wait, would he be that obvious about it?
Wow.
I'm thinking the entire time, like, I knew for sure that it was that, like, before the final scene, when she finally starts going down the rabbit hole.
Oh, I knew when she was like, how'd she get down there? You know what? She'd been there before.
Right.
We missed something in the fun house. And
right.
there you go.
And
that's when I
knew
got it.
for sure.
Yeah, okay.
When she started going down
deep.
the rabbit hole.
I never thought about Jason and Pluto. I never thought about that switch until I got on YouTube and was going down the rabbit hole of who was who in this movie. But I still like that idea. Well, okay, so anybody saw... Oh, wait,
we got Deborah freaked out because she's going to be spending the night by herself in a cabin painting.
Oh, don't be afraid. Okay,
as long as it's not Santa Cruz, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah,
Should
no.
be okay.
Santa Cruz. Stay right in there.
Exactly.
I'm never going back.
Final thoughts on the movie. Do you think, this is the question I've been asking myself and my friends all weekend. Do you think he wanted you to go see it twice, or he put so many questions in it that you have to go see it twice?
Oh, hell yeah. Think about how many people saw Get Out twice for those reasons, just to go back and see the Easter eggs.
I almost saw it 3 times in one weekend. I decided to go to bed on time Sunday night because I could have went for a 3rd time just to see what else I get. It's like reading a book. You pick up so much that you miss. Even after seeing the movie the first time, I was like thinking about it and answering questions. Then I saw it the second time, and it's like confirmation. Guess what kind of confirmations I would have got on the 3rd time?
And shout out to Jordan Peele, like, as a director, think about how brilliant and some of the restraint he showed, because he had like 10 times the budget to make this movie than he had to make Get Out. And yet he didn't just like vomit money all over the screen. Yeah. Like the down below sequence, he could have had it still being very technically run with like laborers working. He could have had 12 times the cast of extras down below and higher tech design, but instead he did kind of keep it simplistic.
Pretty sure most of that money went to having rabbits.
Exactly. They're not cheap.
Probably where most of his budget went.
The rabbit poop cleaner is the one who made all the money.
I cannot. I get real excited. Hey, Randy, I can't speak without using my hands. I'm sorry. I'll be like this all over the place. That's me excited.
I sit on my hands and end up giving myself a butt massage. There, I said it.
All right. So wait, final question. Why did Adelaide's family, why did they take so long to try to kill the Shadow family? Why did the Shadow family wait so long to try to kill them, and the White family was killed immediately?
That's a good question. Also, pay attention next time you see the movie. Pay attention to which of the tethers maims the topsiders rather than actually kills them.
Ooh.
And why? Why are those choices?
Ooh.
So that's my final. That's why you should go see it again.
Please go see it again. I love this movie. Okay, so let's make sure we didn't miss anything. I appreciate you guys for hanging out and watching.
Gregory,
go
Randy,
see it.
Tracy McGon. Thanks for watching. Deborah Taylor, good luck with your cabin. Any parting words? Anything? Tell them something else to look for next time they see it.
Along the lines of Get Out, look for the racial and social bits of the movie.
Oh yeah, because they in there.
It's not as blatant as Get Out was, but they are there.
Yeah, I said it's just a metaphor for class, but it's definitely a metaphor for racial issues and genocide and lots of other
I
things.
could get into the fact that American classism is
Final
rooted
question.
in American racism anyway. But
It absolutely is. When me, that's what I think. Why the one glove?
Michael Jackson.
Okay. Dang it! I was trying to leave him with a question.
And the sharp toys that they're given to play with, scissors,
Where
that,
they all
that cuts their
come from.
hands.
Where'd they all come from? Does Amazon Prime deliver
Down there. So it was such a fun movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I advise it. Go see it. Go see it more than once so you can answer all your questions.
We'll have some more discussions about this. Have a good one. Peace
Bye,
out.
y'all. Oh,